Hello, everyone, and welcome back to T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays. Guys, we took a little week off, a little sabbatical. We took off last week, and we're so glad to be back tonight to see your beautiful melanated faces. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. As always, we want to say welcome. We hope that you all are having a fantastic week so far, and we pray that the rest of your week is truly blessed. And guys, listen, we love the fact that you all tune in. We would love to hear from you tonight, so make sure you hit us up in the comment section. Give us all of the tea, honey, because we do want to hear from you. Okay, now with that being said, guys, tonight is our season finale, season 4. Can you guys believe that we are already literally like 4 days shy of October 1st? Can y'all believe that? Or 3 days shy of October 1st? This year, it has truly gone by very quickly. And I hope that, and I pray that your families are blessed and that everyone is healthy and doing well. We want to see our people flourish and prosper. And T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays is that place where we are encouraging our people, our Black people, to start their own businesses. And not only that, but we're teaching our people how to generate Black wealth. Because why? We want to close that Black wealth gap in this country and around the world. And guys, listen, with you on our team, we are going to take the world by storm. Tonight, we have a fantastic show for you guys. It is going to be lit. And before I even get into the tea, I want to give my shout outs to my makeup artist, Miss Tyra Renee. Guys, she always gives me the best beat downs, honey. And if y'all see these eyes, yes, y'all see them. Glistening, just beautiful. So I had to do all of my little princess, my little queendom jewelry. I had to get all that stuff on. You know, I usually wear my little queendom jewelry for the last show of every season. And so tonight was not any exception. Why? Because you guys are worthy to get the best. You're worthy. We are so worthy of the best, guys. And so I'm just going to bring it to you. I got to look good, got to bring it to you, got to spill that tea, because I know y'all want it. And I know y'all got those teacups ready so that we can give it to you. All right. So thanks so much, guys, for tuning in once again. Please make sure that you like and follow us on Facebook, and that you like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. Guys, when we go to our intros and commercials, great opportunity for you guys to share. Why? Because on T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays, honey, we like to say that sharing is... That's right, y'all got it. Caring. And y'all know we got to spill a little tea on our timeline. So y'all make sure y'all spill a little tea on y'all timeline, your news feeds, or wherever you are, because your followers, your Facebook friends, all of them, they want some tea too. And they like that good old Southern sweet tea, which is what we serve up here on T-Shirts and Tea Tuesdays. So guys, at the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, share, like. We appreciate you. Okay, so tonight we have a very special guest on our platform, and I'm going to introduce her. But first, we are going to share a little bit of information about Harlem Nights. Now, you guys have been hearing us talk about Harlem Nights for the past, how many more? 5 months. Listen, Guys, we are so excited. We have a lot of stuff going on. We have a great advisory board. We have some great coordinators. Listen, we are looking for sponsors. We are still looking for volunteers. We are still looking for individuals who would like to serve on our advisory board to help bring this Harlem Nights vision to life. Now, I don't want y'all to be the ones that be like, well, we just gonna wait and see what happens, or we gonna sit on the sidelines and wait. No, once this thing takes off and it gets big, because it is going to be big, we don't want you to sit in the background saying, dang, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. No, jump on board now. Donate if you have not donated. I mean, we'll take $1, $2, $3. We are doing whatever we can to make sure that we shed light on our Black businesses. This is to support our Black communities, our Black businesses. Harlem Nights is not just for Black Heritage Enterprise. We are the sponsors of Harlem Nights. Ignite Youth Incorporated, which is a 501c3, they are actually the host of the Harlem Nights 2022 extravaganza. And guys, we want to make sure that we're giving our youth, our high school students, an opportunity to shadow Black business owners and learn the ins and outs of Black business, how it's operated, so that they can decide, okay, if I'm going to go to college, I'm going to go to college to do this so that I can become a better Black business owner. We want to provide stipends for them. We don't want them to just be shadowing Black business owners and not getting paid. Why? Because tangibles, our youth sometimes need the tangible funds to really make it translate over to them that this is what it is to be a Black business owner. So we want to pay them to do that. And we also want to be able to generate our own funds to help small Black businesses get started. We need to have our own money that we're pulling from to help our Black businesses. So these are just two of the things that Harlem Nights 2022 is going to do. The net profits from that will go towards funding both of these projects. In addition, we want to highlight our fashion and our savviness, honey, our innovation in fashion. We want to showcase all of our Black excellence in business. This is what Harlem Nights is all about. So we're not just coming dressing to the nines because y'all know we can do that. But we're also going to showcase that we can exemplify excellence as Black business owners with our products and innovation and our, the brands that we bring forth to our people. This is what Harlem Nights is going to be about. So if you have not already done so, make sure you go to mybemp.com. That's my M as in Mike, Y as in yo-yo, B as in boy, H as in Henry, E as in elephant, M as in Mark, P as in Paul.com, and just register, pre-register, get pre-register, guys. It's as simple as that. Next year, October 14th through the 16th, Harlem Nights 2022. Don't you be the last one to get on board. Go ahead and jump on board right now, because we are bringing it. And if you live in another state, this is time for you to start getting them coins together. Get those coins together so that you can go ahead and do like a little tailgating party to Harlem Nights 2022. Guys, this is for us, by us. You don't want to miss Harlem Nights 2022. Okay, and with that being said, guys, hold on for 1 second for this quick introduction or promotion. Okay, so guys, I hope that you all love that introduction. As I said, please make sure that you hit us up in the comment section, guys. We want to hear from you. So tonight, listen, there are so many people that are getting into the real estate industry because real estate is booming right now. But this person that we're bringing on the platform is not only an expert at real estate law. I'm going to tell you this week's expert advisor is none other than attorney KARMIKA V. Rubin, Esquire of the law offices of KV Rubin, PA. Attorney KARMIKA V. Rubin has been in the area of law since 1996 and is licensed to practice in the state of Florida and the federal U.S. tax court. She is a member of the Florida Bar, the American Bar Association, and Church Law Today. With thorough dedication and a will to succeed, Attorney Rubin has earned an impressive number of degrees, which include an Associate's in Arts in Criminology from Saint Petersburg Junior College, a Bachelor of Arts degree in Criminology from the University of South Florida, a Juris Doctorate degree and Masters of Law degree in International and Business Law from Stetson University College of Law, and Advance Diploma in Theology, a bachelor's degree in theology, and a master's degree in theology from Life Christian University. Attorney Rubin has a great amount of work experience, such as the former law firm administrator for Florida's House of Representatives, Attorney Darryl Rouson, and a former arbitrator for the Better Business Bureau, where she focused on Florida lemon law programs and other consumer and business disputes. She has been awarded a number of awards throughout her academic and professional career, as well as engaged in numerous speaking arenas. Guys, she has talk shows. She is a Buccaneer fan, which is even better. Please join me in welcoming to the TeeShirtz and Tea Tuesdays platform, attorney KARMIKA V. Rubin. Yay! And guys, yes, it's attorney KARMIKA V. Rubin.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I was like, who is she talking about? OMG. Thank you so much, Miss Rush, for having me to be a part of your platform this evening. I'm super, super excited. And you know, real estate is my thing.
Yes, I know. And listen, guys, for all of you that did not know, attorney Rubin was our first guest ever on TeeShirtz and Tea Tuesdays. And we're really almost knocking at the door of our first year anniversary. She came onto our platform October 20th, 2020. Okay. And the advice and just the expert, insight that she gave on that show was just absolutely phenomenal. And we've had so many people on since her, and we wanted to make sure that we brought her back because we felt like she has a lot to offer. And I just actually, listen, I know she's going to get into this a little bit later, but she does provide Zoom sessions where she gives insight on different aspects of the law. This past Zoom class that she did was on landlord tenant laws. And let me tell y'all, for everybody who missed it, it was fantastic. So needed, especially in the times that we're in right now with COVID, and we're seeing all of the things that's going on with the landlord, tenant, violations and all kinds of stuff. So her expertise just came in so handy. So let me just go ahead and just open the floor to Attorney Rubin so that she can give us a little bit of information about herself. We are going to be covering real estate law today.
Yes, thank you so much. The first time you almost reminded me. The first time I was here, we talked about contracts. We talked about contracts, and I just want to just say just a little bit about that in the sense that everything starts and ends with a contract, whether it's
Mhm.
verbal or written. And I believe that is an awesome segue into real estate law because a lot of times we do things, we sign things, we enter into binding agreements and we have no clue what the actual agreement is.
Mhm.
So, contracts are very important to any real estate deal. But, like you said, we're here to talk about all the tea with real estate law.
Yeah.
So, bring it, bring it, bring it. I'm ready.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so I know that we just kind of discussed. Well, first, let me do this.
Mhm.
I don't think the first time that you came on the platform, people actually had a chance to hear about you personally, like your histories, what brought you, how did you come into law? What made you want to practice law? Can you give the people a little bit of insight about you?
Yes, thank you. I I often put me to the side and dive head first into how to help others. But I
Mm-hmm.
believe based on your question, it is inspiring to know what others did because you never know who out there in the audience is seeking to enter into law. I
Right.
have been a part of law for over 20 some odd years. When I
Wow.
was a teenager, I saw something that occurred and I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something about that. It was already in my heart at the age of 10 or 11 to become an attorney. But when I saw the violation of law occur
Mm.
right in front of me, that moved me. And
Wow.
I just don't like injustice. I believe in the law when it's done right and when it's done proper. So I often joke and tell people that I went to law school to help other people.
Mm.
So when I was in law school, there's a lot of large terms. We actually have our own dictionary. You sort of kind of have to learn Latin law. But I wanted to make sure I was always relatable so that
Mm-hmm.
I can take what I'm learning in law school and communicate it to the community
Wow.
because we all have our own expertise, we all have our
Mm-hmm.
own profession. And I believe that if people are more informed of
Mm-hmm.
what the law is, we can make our own decisions. We can make um, um, uh, more concrete, informative decisions. So I don't
Yeah.
believe holding the knowledge. That's why I do the Zoominars. That's why,
Yeah.
even before the pandemic, I would do in person
Mm-hmm.
sessions or seminars. I will hold Ask an Attorney. And I've done that for many years
Yeah.
because I don't believe in hoarding the knowledge. What's the
Mm-hmm.
use? You
Right.
guys need it. We all need it. So I don't believe in hoarding it. But so my passion is for others. My desire is to help others. Now, naturally, we have to be compensated for it.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
that's my passion, and that's my way of giving back because we do not charge for the Zoominars, for the
Right.
seminars, for
Mm-hmm.
the Ask an Attorney. We don't
Mm-hmm.
charge for those, even this platform. So we want to make sure that people have the knowledge as they move forward. In the instance that they need our personal one-to-one legal consultation, well, that's
Mm-hmm.
where the key come in.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And let me tell you something. I was there with Attorney Rubin as she was going through law school.
Yes.
Actually, as she was I guess entering into her last few years at USF, University of South Florida. And she took the journey the same route that I did, because I was a mother and a wife. I went the route of community college first, got my AA degree, then transferred over, got my bachelor's degree. She went on and got her master's, and all y'all heard all of the other degrees, but like she really took those steps. And so many people think that when they're entering into an industry or a field, that it needs to be the same path that the majority take. And so I only mentioned that because I don't want people to feel like, oh, if I go this route, although my route is a little slower to completion, that I'm missing out on something. Like I think Attorney Rubin was the one that told me when I started out with my bachelor's degree, I was kind of like, oh my gosh, I'm so discouraged because I feel like it's taking forever. And she was like, no, you can't look at the whole picture. You got to take it one day at a time, one semester at a time. And before you know it, you'll be finished, because that time is going to go by whether you're in school or you're not in school. And so it made me think about, I'm like, wow, that is so true.
Oh my gosh, I can't remember. You remember that?
Yes, I do.
You remember that? Oh my gosh! But that is a nugget, and I'm so proud of you. I know we're talking about me, but I am so super proud of you. You are a well qualified professional. You know what you're doing. You've been in the banking industry, the money finance industry.
Yeah.
I am so super proud of this platform, bringing business
Thank
owners
you.
to such an awesome networking type platform to
Mm-hmm.
say we're here for each other to
Mm-hmm.
move forward together. No hold
Yes,
bars. You're
that's
very
right.
unselfish, and I'm appreciative that you've brought me on and that you've allowed me to share the knowledge that I have. And I do hope and pray that people will see people like us, and
Mm-hmm.
they will be inspired to say, I'm going to stick it out one
Yes.
day at a time, one
Mm-hmm.
semester at a time,
That's
because
right.
time does not stop. And
Right.
I'll share in my journey, teenage mom, married, divorced. In the journey, I always say I can't give up on what my mission, my purpose is. And I'm a believer. So I believe that, God put me in place to be where He wants me to be, to help a lot of people sleep better at night, to help a
Yes.
lot of people have more ease in their legal concerns, because they're like, hey, we're going to give it to you. And they're like, I'm going to trust you. I'm like, no, don't put the trust in me.
Okay.
Because I know where the trust comes from.
Right.
And,
Exactly.
and, and, and it's no secret that I'm the ministering attorney. But in my journey,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of touched on it, I work with, it was House of Representative, now it's Senator Darryl Rouson. I worked
Mm-hmm.
in his law firm. I was degreed in 2001. So you
Yeah.
have to figure, I got my license in 2010 after helping him. After
Yeah.
saying, I'm going to help your vision, which was really preparing me for my
Your
vision
vision. Yeah.
to open up my own law firm. And God's
Mm-hmm.
like, don't worry about the timetable. I got
That's
you.
right.
And I
That's
wasn't
right.
allowed to do things as others did them. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
allowed to network the same way that
Right.
others network. He's like, no, I'm going to send you to those who are in need. And so my
Mm.
pathway was definitely um, guided. I was definitely led in the path to help people. That's what I'm
Yeah.
here to do, to help
Yes.
people.
And she does indeed do that. And that's why she's here today. That's why she is the co chair of Harlem Nights, our advisory board. Listen, we are all about the people. And the thing is if you guys are not into helping people, then the Harlem Nights Advisory Board and Black Heritage Enterprise Marketplace, it wouldn't. It's just not the place for you, because that's what we do. It's that first, and then the Most High God provides the finances, because He knows that this platform is here, and people like Attorney Rubin are there to serve the people. And so, with that being said, let's go a little bit into real estate law, because and let me tell you something. When we were talking, and she was like, "Well, what area do you want me to touch on?" And I said, "Well, you know what? I think we need to touch on real estate law a little bit, because I know that there are a lot of people going into investing and Airbnbs, and everybody has a program that they want you to pay for to get into. Oh, it's free at first, and then you attend the session, and at the end it's like $2,000, and there's no real guarantees. And so I just really wanted our people to kind of be ahead of the curveball versus on the back end of it, to really understand what this real estate industry is doing, how we can fortify ourselves and be more prepared. And so I wanted to just find out from you, what are some of the trends that you've been seeing in the real estate industry now?
You touched on quite a number of the trends. The come to the seminar and we'll, for a price, show you how to get into real estate investing. The first thing
Mm-hmm.
I would challenge everyone, one, don't be motivated by money alone. And the reason
Mm.
why I say that is because it takes money to make money. And a lot of the platforms that people are participating in, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
called OPM, other people's money. And there
Yes.
is there is a method and strategy if you have those resources.
Right.
If you
Mm-hmm.
have those resources, but if you have the passion to really get involved into real estate investing, because it's going to take determination, it's
Mm-hmm.
going to take a season of learning which type of investment, because there's
Mm-hmm.
so many different types of investment. You need
Wow.
to really realistically look at your time availability. Do I
Mm-hmm.
really have time to invest in real estate? What will I do with the real estate once I receive it, once I get it? And I'll tell you, there are some people who want to invest in real estate and they already have an in. They've
Mm.
inherited property.
Mm.
There's the generation for
Okay.
our culture, the generations before believed in having property. They
Property, yeah.
believed in leaving property for generations to come.
Mm-hmm.
And then when those generations come, they're like, I don't
We
want
don't
it.
want it. We'll sell it off. Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't want it. And
Mm-hmm.
I've been involved in scenarios where they're looking at foreclosures or reverse
Wow.
mortgages, but that is a tool of investment. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
mechanisms that can be taken advantage of in that scenario is flip it. You can flip it, you can sell it, you can always renovate it, put it up
Mm-hmm.
for rent. There's
Yeah.
different things. You can put it
Mm-hmm.
into the name of your business and use it as a business asset. You can
Very
use it as
true.
an asset to get other money to do other things. You're like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
gosh, I always wanted to have my own business. Well, now if there's no mortgage or if there's equity in the home, you can use that as collateral for so many different other options. So when it comes to
Wow.
real estate investing, you have to say, what am I really in? What am I really into it for? If it's
Mm-hmm.
just to make money, be careful because you'll get out because you're not making money. Some
Wow.
investments are putting out without receiving immediately. And
Correct.
some people, I know this one gentleman, I would not mention his name, but bless him, he got in. It took him about 2 or 3 years to catch the rhythm. And
Wow.
once
Okay.
he caught the rhythm, oh my gosh, he's on it. But the
Mm-hmm.
sacrifices that he had to endure, the
Mm-hmm.
working over here to pay for the real estate, to
Mm-hmm.
working your regular job or regular career while trying to still master the theme of investment, whether
Yeah.
it's buying a house, flipping it, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
buying a unit and
Mm-hmm.
getting a master lease, whether it's getting into tax lien to get a tax deed, whatever the real estate investment is, money is not the ultimate factor. Make sure you have a passion if you intend to stay for the long haul. What tends to
Mm-hmm.
happen? People jump in, get
Mm-hmm.
discouraged, and then they jump out. And if you're
Wow.
doing OPM, other people money, don't play
Mm-hmm.
with their money. Know what you're doing.
Exactly. Exactly. And I would even venture to say that before you enter into any contractual agreement as it pertains to real estate, or if there's an ideal or maybe an ideal partnership or joint venture, or, you want to give equity to someone, that they seek out legal advice.
Yes, yes. I concur. I concur. I often tell people you will either see an attorney before, during, or after your transitions.
Wow.
Before, during, or after. It's better to
Mhm.
do it before because everyone is in a good mood. Everyone
Mhm.
loves everyone. Everyone believes in what everyone is doing. They believe in a vision. They believe in a mission. They believe
Mhm.
in moving forward to make this real estate venture happen.
Mhm.
And so you can put everything out on the line. What happens when you partner with someone to do a joint venture? You guys are
Mhm.
combining to do a joint venture and it goes sour. The house
Yeah.
burned, the market crashed, so who's liable for what?
At
What
that
happens
point,
if your
right.
partner passed away? A lot of
Mhm.
people did not make it through COVID, bless all the families affected. But what happens? So in the beginning, the attorney can come in, give you strategic guidance. That's what I do for people. I give
Mhm.
strategic guidance, realistic strategical guidance,
Mhm.
and then we draft up contracts and agreements
Mhm.
to reflect what is your understanding. If
Gotcha.
you're going in with someone, or even if you're buying a property, what is your understanding of what's going to occur? People buy homes and never really read the contract. So
Wow.
get an attorney. You have a realtor, get an attorney
Mhm.
to just make sure what people are saying
Is
match
what's
up.
translated on paper.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it.
Mhm.
Because the paper will rule over what you say.
The verbal, yeah.
If there's no paper, then okay. There's
Mhm.
some strength in some situations that it may rule, but there are certain things where you have to have
Mhm.
written contract, for instance, when you're conveying property. But the other one is during. When things go wrong, don't wait until both you and the other person are at each other's throats
Right.
physically. Don't wait
Mhm.
until it's unreconcilable. Get involved. Hire an attorney. Go to mediation, pre-lawsuit mediation. Figure
Yeah.
that thing out. Or some
Mhm.
people don't have a contract, so they'll come to an attorney and say, "Help us undo what we did. Help us
Right.
make that crooked ways straight," and we
Mhm.
can do that. And the
Mhm.
last, people come to an attorney when everything has just gone wrong.
Everything is up in the air.
Everything is up in the air. And unfortunately, sometimes those differences may result in a lawsuit, in
Mm.
litigation. And you don't want to do that unless you have to, because
Mhm.
attorneys are not inexpensive. We
Right.
are due the work that we put out. So you're going to have attorney fees, you're going to have court costs to start that litigation, you're
Wow.
going to have other types of fees, so try
Mhm.
to prevent it.
Right.
Real estate investment is great when it's going good, but when it's
Yeah.
not, I'm going to agree with Miss Rush. Get an attorney.
Yes, that's what we need to do, honey. Y'all see, listen, if you are considering any type of real estate law, family, you need an attorney for family law or whatever the case may be, please make sure that you reach out to attorney Rubin at 727-512-8261. That's 727-512-8261. With that, guys, hold on one moment. We'll be right back right after this.
Welcome to BEMP, Black Heritage Enterprise Marketplace Corporation, an e-commerce enterprise platform created for Black business owners and empowered buyers across the globe. We are the platform that empowered buyers frequent most, the enterprise that our employees love working for, the parent company of BEMCO, Black Entrepreneurs Marketplace, a Black-owned e-commerce, Black business membership marketplace, and a marketing and advertising platform for Black business owners. We provide a variety of features such as a Black business directory for both state and national searches and targeted product and service searches. Black business owners, advertise and market your brand to the most important consumers on earth with BEMP. Black business owners, join BEMP today. BEMP Corporation.
Okay, guys, listen, we are back in case you missed it. Today, we have on our platform attorney KARMIKA V. Rubin, Esquire of the law offices of KV Rubin, PA. Guys, she is our expert advisor. Today, we're discussing real estate law, honey, because so if y'all don't have y'all teacups ready, and you might as well go ahead and get your pad and your pen ready because, honey, we're getting school today. Attorney Rubin is spilling some good old piping hot tea. And listen, I got my teacup. I'm catching it all and sipping it down. So I hope that you all are doing the same. If you have not already done so, please make sure that you like and share this show. Sprinkle a little bit on your timeline. And if you haven't already done so, please make sure that you go ahead and subscribe to us over at in YouTube University Land, and on Facebook. Make sure that you like and follow us, and also hit that notification bell so that you're reminded anytime that we're getting ready to go live. So today, like I said, we're discussing real estate law with attorney Rubin, and we're getting ready to get into some more tea. So, attorney Rubin, can you tell the people what is the biggest misconception that people have about real estate, period, that you've experienced?
They think it's easy.
Wow.
They think it's easy, and it's not. You must educate yourself on whatever aspect it is. You must educate yourself. That's the
Wow.
first thing. Whether no matter how you are receiving that particular property, you need to educate yourself, know exactly what it is that you're seeking to do, know exactly the type of real estate area. But I think that the biggest thing that comes into play is people don't know. And oftentimes you don't know what you don't know. So I'm a big person on doing your homework. And I'm going to just shift briefly because people don't think about zoning. People don't think about land use. When it comes to investing in certain types of property, you need to check out with your local authorities. Go downtown, check out what is the city's plan for this area before you go and you buy this building or you buy this home, whether it's commercial or residential. What you need to do is to go downtown. They typically have a plan, a land use planning that's out for at least 25 years that they plan in advance. So if they're telling you what the zoning is going to be, you need to say, okay, am I going to buy property in this area, or am I going to invest in this particular geographical area? There's a lot of places, like we're in St. Pete, and if you don't know that they're trying to convert a particular section to industrial, you may buy property that they're looking to tear down in 3 to 6 years. It is very important to know where you're going to be making those real estate purchases. So take a journey down to City Hall and say, what are my restrictions? Even if you don't want to know what the city plan is for the next 10, 15, 25 years, at least go down and check out the environment. There are some places where the equity or the value of the land is increasing, and then there's some where it's decreasing. When you're looking to make that purpose, they also have what's called distressed property. Okay, well, what programs do they have if I invest in this type home? What programs do they have if I invest in that type of property? So know the incentives. The city, the county, even some, I don't really know about the state, but sometimes they may have incentives for investors. And you don't know if you don't know. And that's the key thing, is knowing what you don't know by educating yourself. And when you go and do your own research, no one can take you, oh, no one can take that away from you. And I believe that whenever you're looking to seriously looking to invest using your money or OPM, like we talked about before, using someone else's money, do your homework. Do your homework. know what is going to cost, and know if you can do it. So that's one of the biggest things that I believe that needs to happen, is for people to do their homework, to do their research. Don't be afraid to go to the city officials, especially if you're investing in commercial realty and you want to convert something to something else. If you want to um, do a certain type of business, check out zoning. Go to some of the meetings, see what the talk is all about. But the onus is on you to make sure that you do your homework, that you do the research. And I'll tell you, we've done a number of Zoominars through the law firm where we've talked about different things, and we will be publishing those soon. Not yet, not yet. I think we're going to take those and convert them into more like the YouTube segments for everyone to enjoy. But do your homework. Do your homework. Um, and one other thing before Miss LaShawn comes with her next question that I want to touch on is when you're investing in foreclosure properties. And I've been on both sides of the lawsuit, bringing it and defending it. And when it comes to foreclosure investments, you as an investor need to really say, am I coming in to save the homeowner, or am I coming to buy the property at an auction? So it's very key that you understand which role you want to do. I had a scenario, just to give you an example, and this lady, she was not happy with me, but she was an investor, and she had the opportunity to purchase a condo. And when she purchased that condo, she's like, oh my gosh, I'm getting the best deal ever. But she didn't realize there was another foreclosure. The HOA foreclosed. She bought a condo for $10,000 on the beach. But she didn't know that the mortgage company also had a foreclosure. And they're like, no, we, you're bad for not doing your homework. You're bad for not doing your research. But our particular foreclosure lien over and trumps your purchase at that particular auction. So do your homework. And she was
Mm.
mad with me because she bought the property, didn't do her due diligence. She
Wow.
motioned with the judge, and she hired me to defend it. And I told her, I said, this is, you don't have a good position. You
Wow.
to argue, but you really just did not do your due diligence. And so we were trying to buy time to let them settle so she can keep the condo, but it didn't work. So the key, do your homework, do your research, know what you're doing, because at the end of the day, if you don't, it could come back to bite you, and no attorney may be able to save you from certain legal situations. So remember, before, during, or after. And I recommend before. Thank you, Miss LaShawn Rush, for letting me get all of that out.
No problem. Thank you so much for getting into the details on everything. I someone just said that there was no sound. Can you all hear us? Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So I listen, the misconceptions, understanding a little bit about what's going on with the real estate industry. I wanted you to also go into a little bit of some of the things that you're seeing as it pertains to landlord and tenant issues. Because I
mm,
know that there are a lot of people who don't own their homes right now, might be seeing some, disparities in terms of, increases in rent, like astronomically, and things like that. So can you just go into a little bit of what you've been seeing in that industry as well?
yes. And it's very interesting right now because there was one sense pre-pandemic, pandemic, and now post-pandemic. There
Mm,
were some people that were in trouble before the pandemic. So when the pandemic hit, they were in more trouble except for the moratorium that was put in place.
Mm.
And I kind of talked about that previously on another session that I did in
Mm-hmm.
reference to understanding the moratorium and what our government put in place. And that was a tool. It was helping homeowners. If you had a federally backed loan, it was helping them with their mortgage, with forbearance. But if
Mm-hmm.
you were a tenant, no one wanted people on the streets in the middle of a health pandemic. So
Right.
the government stepped in to say, we're going to provide you assistance. And then
Mm-hmm.
once if we no longer are able to provide it directly from the federal government to you, they gave money to the state. And when they gave the money
Um,
to the state, it then went to different organizations and agencies to help people pay their rent. Now,
mm,
some of the things that has happened, and we talked about contracts in the beginning of this awesome session. Every person has a contract, whether it's verbal or written. It
correct.
doesn't mean that either party can change the terms of that contract because of the pandemic. The
Mm,
pandemic is like a band-aid. It's like
mm,
it's not surgery. So it didn't surgically change people cosmetically, but it was more
mm,
of a band-aid, like, hey, let's just make sure we don't spread what's going on or make something worse. So if you're having an issue with your landlord or even tenant, everything goes back to hopefully your written lease. If you
okay.
don't have a written lease, you're still okay. You just default to the Florida statute because
Okay.
the law still has rights for landlords and for tenants.
Mm-hmm.
Some people found themselves in position where landlords were getting frustrated, rightfully so, because
Mm-hmm.
if you own a property, if you're an investor and you're expecting to get certain rent
Mm-hmm.
from your tenants because you have a mortgage, then you're like, oh my gosh, they're out of gas, I'm out of gas. So it kind of trickles up. And
Right.
so that's why the government is like, we can't just help the tenants, we got to also help the owners, to
Mm,
say, let's try to balance this thing out so that if there's a mortgage, the mortgage company is giving a break to the landlord is giving a break to the tenant, but it
mm,
doesn't mean that the contract is void. Whatever you were paying, you still have to pay, but if you need assistance, there's a whole thing that the CDC put out to try to help people who were affected by the pandemic. And there are some landlord tenant situations that has nothing to do with the pandemic.
right.
Like
Right.
nothing. You know,
Right.
there's
Mm-hmm.
people who are able to take care of their rent, but they have other issues, which as an investor, as a landlord, you must remember it is still your responsibility to keep that
Thank you.
commercial property, residential property repaired. That
Right.
is your responsibility. You got to make sure that
Mm,
there's heat, that there's plumbing, that the structure
mm-hmm.
is sound. You have to still make sure you're in compliance with different ordinances. You can't
Right.
say, well, because of this or because of that. No, that's why your passion for real estate investing cannot be money motivated, because it takes money. It takes
Yes.
money to make money and to keep these
Mm-hmm.
properties where they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
So there are a lot of issues with without the pandemic, unfortunately, that landlord and tenants have. My recommendations is to read the Florida statute section 83, or Google, what are my rights as a tenant, what are
Mm-hmm.
my rights as a landlord. And I get it. There's, I've had all types of cases dealing with landlord tenant matters. The tenant moves out, the place is destroyed. Well, the
Mm-hmm.
homeowner or the landlord, they have a right to receive the property back in good condition.
Right.
But then at the same time, the tenant has a right to receive their security deposit.
Exactly.
if it's nothing,
Exactly.
if it's nothing past wear and tear. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very important to understand your rights as tenants, as a landlord. You guys can Google the Florida Bar Journal, always puts out pamphlets and articles on what are
Okay.
your rights. Is very important to know so that the landlords don't retaliate against you for you enforcing a right.
What the law is.
Retaliation is not
Yeah.
allowed.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about tenants being concerned or afraid to, report repairs, or, some landlords are like, oh, well, we're only doing emergency repairs right now.
Ah,
So, yeah, because of COVID-19, we're only doing emergency repairs. And if it doesn't classify as an emergency repair, then you have a repair that could be going 6 months and not being attended to. And then, you have tenants, because of the way that the rental rates are right now, they're so high,
they're
tenants
crazy.
are afraid. Yeah, tenants are afraid to put up a fuss, because then they don't want to be concerned about, when it comes time to renew, because you gave the landlord a hard time. They're saying, hey, we're not going to renew your lease.
And that's unfortunate. The landlords are not allowed to do that. There is punishment that can come, which is the cost of the actual damage that you caused that tenant to incur,
Mm-hmm.
or 3 months the rent as
Mm.
punishment, whichever is higher to that tenant.
Okay.
So, emergency repairs, any repair is an emergency.
Right.
You're paying for a certain lifestyle in that
Mhm.
particular environment, and you're due the right to enjoy everything that you're leasing or that you are renting. What emergency? I don't even understand how they're defining that unless it's in your lease. So
Right.
unless there's in your lease, these are considered emergency repairs. But no one anticipated the pandemic. No one
Right.
anticipated that, hey, I don't really want to come in your house.
Mm-hmm.
But there are still safety measures that a person can take. One, the family can leave the household doing a
Mm-hmm.
repair.
Mm-hmm.
You can mask up, or you could, put certain safety things on.
Mm-hmm.
The cable companies didn't stop. They didn't stop installing cable.
Installing. That's true. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, what repair are you not able to do that you believe you're excused? I don't believe that was in a moratorium. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if that was in the mandate from the governor back when we had certain orders in place. I'm not sure how they would be able to successfully classify this is an emergency and this is not. And then when does that emergency time frame end, and you're
Right.
sitting just enduring?
Right.
So, knowing your rights is important. And there are a lot of property management companies that do not know. They do
Yeah.
not know the law. They did not go to law
Mm-hmm.
school. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how many read the statute. I don't even know how many even read the simple pamphlet that can be done in less than 5 or 10 minutes, just
Right.
on the basics. A lot of training, which we know, when
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people do training based on what the company tells us, well, this is the
Mm-hmm.
company's policy. But that policy may not be law, and you can be in trouble, landlord property management people. You can be
Yeah.
in a lot of legal trouble for not following the law. Your policy does not trump the law.
Right. And that's so, and the reason I touched on that a little bit is because when you have people venturing into real estate and investing, some people, like you said, like to do the fix and flips. Others like to go ahead and acquire a property at rock bottom prices, renovate it, and then lease it out. And so they get involved as an investor, but they don't really see the landlord side of it, and what the tenant rights are. And then you begin to put policies and things in place that contradict or go against the law. So when you said, as an investor, you have to be vested. You can't just be in it for the money, because you absolutely will have those moments where, as a landlord, you want to do one thing, but if you are privy to what the landlord tenant laws are in your state, it could be totally opposite or against what the law says that you have the right to do as a landlord.
Exactly. Exactly. And exactly. I highly recommend that anyone who is either in or looking to get into becoming a landlord, even property management, you need to have money put aside in anticipation of repairs. And
Mm-hmm.
if you are re-renting and re-renting and re-renting, you need to understand as a landlord or a homeowner what wear and tear consists of.
Right.
You need to repaint that place. You need to
Mm-hmm.
change out the carpet. You
Mm-hmm.
need to change air filters, right? So
Yeah.
there's things that you need to anticipate, budget for, and put money to the side. And there's just a lot that goes into it that as
Mm-hmm.
a potential investor for real estate, you just need to know and you need to understand. There are some things that are unforeseen, but there are some things that are very predictable.
Exactly. And so I wanted to ask you a question about this too. This is something that we kind of went into a couple months ago, but we didn't have an attorney at hand to speak to and ask, okay, what do you think about this? I know that right now, as well as you, that the real estate market is piping hot, is white hot, and it's a seller's market. What would you say to individuals who are looking to go into home ownership? When they're bidding on these properties, a lot of people are going in, purchasing properties sight unseen, or they're purchasing properties. They fail to do the inspections because they're afraid that they're going to lose out on the house. They're paying like 3 times, like 30% more than what the house is really valued at. What do you say to buyers who are in the market looking for a good property? What would your advice be to them in this climate?
Be anxious for nothing.
Good job. Yes, that's good. That's good. Good
Be
tea. Good tea.
anxious
Let me
for
let me
nothing.
let me take a sip. Mm, mm,
Everything that looks good is not good for you. If you knowingly make a purchase
mm.
and you are buying a property negative equity,
Yeah.
you are knowingly making a bad investment. That is on you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a desperate time unless you believe it's a desperate time,
Right.
because when that one, if the value of that home starts to decrease, and I know
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you're talking about. This is a whole different season than when the market crashed years ago. Years
Yeah.
ago, the appraisers, they were appraising homes for more than what they were worth, or people
Mm,
were doing different things to make people qualify when they really were not qualified. Well, this
right.
is a different scenario. The people can afford the loan, but the loan does not match the collateral.
Yes.
You're
Yes.
telling this lender, give me $400,000, and the collateral is only worth $250,000, but the loan I'm taking is $400,000. You're
Wow.
negative $150,000 in
In
equity.
equity.
You
Yeah.
still have to pay that loan. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot then turn around and sell that home unless you're trying to do it right now. But there's
Mm-hmm.
going to be a season where people may not be able to afford to pay what you're selling. So, they're like, oh, people are desperate for properties.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're desperate,
Right.
because
That desperate. Right.
some people are creating their own desperation. If you
Mm-hmm.
are selling your home to get this quick money and now you have nowhere to live,
Right. Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
you sold high, and now you have to buy high. Let that person have it. What's
Yeah.
for you is for you.
Mm-hmm.
A bad deal is only a bad deal if it's a bad deal for you. And I will
Right.
often say, if you are willing, and people are doing it, if you are willing to pay $400,000 for a piece of collateral that's really only worth 250,000, or even 350,000, that's still negative 50,000, negative
Yeah.
50,000 in equity. if you're willing to do it, my question is why?
Mm-hmm.
If it's for the long run that you're looking to stay here 15, 20, 30, 40 years, it's your dream home, go for it. If
Mm-hmm.
you're looking to say, hey, I'm buying it, but I'm going to improve it, I'm doing renovations, I'm adding on to it, I'm going to take it from the 253, 350 up to 600,000, wise move. But if you're
Right.
like, I'm going to buy it as an investor, you're not investing.
Right.
That's not investing. But
Mm-hmm.
if you are saying we have nowhere to live, then you may want to balance, or go to another area. But be anxious for nothing. Be anxious. Take your time. America, God bless America. Here's what America says: if you decide to make a bad contract, that's on you.
That's on you. Yes. Yes, because at the end of the day, you can have an attorney to review. And when we first bought our first house, we never even thought about hiring a lawyer, a real estate lawyer, to review our closing documents. I mean, you sign off on so many things, and you have no idea of what is actually in that contract.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
how many people actually do that?
A lot of people, and let me tell you when it goes wrong. I like the phone calls when it goes wrong. And we have to the same contract that people sign to buy and sell real property, I review. And
Mm-hmm.
I have to look at every line action to determine whatever. If you're trying
Right.
to back out the contract, I got to read the contract. If
Mm-hmm.
something that was supposed to be included, like the fence, is
Mm-hmm.
not included, the chandelier, you took the chandelier, but it should have been included. The closing
Wow.
costs, I didn't remember saying this, that, and the other. I
Mm.
love realtors. I know a whole lot of them. Some love it, some don't. Because they're like, well, we're telling you what you need to know, but when it's time to enforce that contract, another issue comes when people don't disclose certain things that's wrong that wasn't seen by an inspection. When
Mm-hmm.
a certain piece of property on your land was
Mm.
not properly permitted. Issues.
Wow.
Issues. It's like, well, I
Yeah.
didn't know it wasn't permitted, the time when we did it, blah, blah, blah. So
Mm-hmm.
those contracts really come into place when it's disputed, whether it's new construction, used construction, or no construction on nothing but
Mm-hmm.
land. Seek an attorney.
And that is so good. I mean, like, everybody that's not tuned in and watching this, they are missing out. This is such a good, you're giving such good insight on the industry. We touched on a lot of different areas. One of the things that I was going to mention is I didn't even know, like, when you're in closing and you're purchasing a property, that you're signing a contract, which means that oftentimes the contract is negotiable. But most people, the person who is actually on the buying end, oftentimes thinks that, hey, what's presented to me is what is, and I have to either sign it or walk away. And the
Yeah.
reason I say that is because we had a situation where someone posted something on Facebook and was like, hey, my lender just sold my mortgage to another bank in the process of us refinancing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And somebody mentioned in the comments, like, you had an opportunity during your contract to rebut that part of the contract that allows a lender to sell their mortgage to whomever they want.
Yes.
And I know we ran into that when we were homeowners. Our mortgage was sold like 7 or 8 times
Yeah.
just in the lifetime of the loan. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So when you're negotiating contracts like that in a closing, another reason to bring an attorney to the table.
Exactly. And either that or read the fine print. So
Mm,
so there's so many different contracts with different titles. So you
mm,
have the sales contract. That's
mm-hmm,
the buying and selling of the real estate. But if
mm-hmm,
you're borrowing money and you're actually using the home as collateral, you're using the money to buy the home, but then you
Right.
also, the home is also being used as collateral to
Mm-hmm.
sustain that promissory note. The
Mm-hmm.
mortgage is just a mortgage lien that's attached that tells the public that there's money owed and, owed and due on this particular property. The
Right.
promissory note, that's the fine print. And people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even gonna say desperate. I'm not even gonna say desperate. It's just that you just don't read it.
Don't
You,
know.
you,
Yeah.
you go to the closing, you're
Mm-hmm.
giving a ton of paper, and you're like, you're told what it means. If
Mm-hmm.
you don't care, which I have contracts, I don't read every contract I sign. If I
Mm-hmm.
don't care, okay, you know what? The consequence is I may lose my right to do blah 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 blah.
Right.
But
Mm-hmm.
what I've had to do defending people, homeowners in foreclosure cases, I've had to read those fine prints. I had to read
Wow.
the mortgage. I had to read the note, and there
Mm-hmm.
are clauses that say we have the right to use a different servicer of your loan. We have a right to sell the promissory note with or without notice.
Wow.
But people, because they're thinking, well, it's not really harming you, you're just changing who you're making your payments to,
Mm-hmm.
but we sign it. We
Yeah.
sign it in the promissory note. Now, once
Mm-hmm.
you refinance, then that promissory note is satisfied, so it's no longer an issue. But any contract can be crossed out, renegotiated. Most people don't, because the people that's giving it to you, they didn't draft it. They don't even know what it says.
Right.
They're like, look, I don't have time. I didn't go to law school. I'm a
Right.
mortgage broker. I'm a notary.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a real. Listen, you read it. You go take it
Mm-hmm.
to an attorney. But
Mm-hmm.
this is what they told me it says. So I'm telling you what they told me to tell you about what it says. And if you don't read it, then that's on you.
It's
It,
on
it
you.
reminds
Yeah.
me. It reminds me of a story when I went to go rent a rental car, and I was like, you know what? Let me read the contract. And the guy looked at me like, lady,
Are
are
you
you
actually gonna read
serious?
this?
You're gonna read the rental agreement? I'm like, you want me to initial? I need to read it at least one good time, so in the
Right.
future I can know if I wanna what I wanna deal with or not, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I sat there and I read that whole rental agreement. I'm like, okay, all right. I still signed, I agree, but at least I know what I'm
What
agreeing to.
I'm yeah, yeah, yeah.
He was like, lady, I'm trying to get me some sales in here. So they're not concerned,
Mm-hmm.
because it's really on each individual. It's your signature in the court of law. The judges are like, who signed this? Did they
Right.
make you? Was it duress? What happened that you felt pressure to sign? I wanted the
Right.
house. That's not pressure. Get
Right.
another house. Wait.
Yeah. Yep. That's good tea. Now I know like we're already over an hour into this, but I
Oh,
have one more question for you. For individuals who are looking at land acquisition or to purchase land, what is your greatest advice for them? Miss Althea Weller said, very insightful. You are so right. All of Tampa needs to be hearing this good tea. Yes, tantalizing, effervescent acumen. Yes, honey. Yes, Miss Althea. Miss Althea is a friend of the show. She said, it's tea, honey. It's tea. Yes.
thank you.
Yes. So there are a lot of everybody's land grabbing right now, purchasing land. I've actually gotten a couple of invites to actually go and like purchase land on the spot. Like you go out, you look at the land, but my thing is, it's almost like, I don't know if you ever seen Money Pit with Tom
Oh,
Hanks.
yes, long
they
time.
they went and they saw this house, and the house looked like it was all together, was great, and then they bought the house, moved in, and everything just fell apart. They had to
Mm.
rebuild the house all over again. So when I think about things like that in terms of like going out and purchasing land, or whatever the case may be, it makes me think about Money Pit and like, okay, what am I doing when I'm purchasing this land? Because for instance, on Saturday, they had a land purchasing event. They had a bunch of land. I guess investors had purchased a bunch of land. They segmented divided the land up, and then they had a certain number of parcels that they were selling that Saturday. So for me, it was kind of frightening because I'm like, okay, you're selling the land on the same day that people go out and look at it, which means that those individuals haven't had an opportunity to actually review the contract, making sure that the contract that they are signing is for the land that they are looking at, making sure that you not own some swamp land. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is your advice to people who are looking at purchasing land?
So let me give my little warning, because I know we say advice. So for those who are watching, I know we're at the end, but this is for general information. This is not to give you technical legal advice. So this is
Right.
just for informational sharing purposes only. The hiring of an attorney is a very important decision. Do your homework on your attorney as well. Now to the question. So they're like, Attorney Rubin told me, Attorney Rubin spoke general. In general, do a consultation if you have some more specifics. But to answer your question, the main thing is to do your due diligence on the land beforehand. But the biggest thing that people don't think about, request the contracts in advance. When people do closings, when they allow me to participate, there's sometimes I've had closings where it was a unique financial situation, because you could do owner financing. Money doesn't always have to come from a bank. So I've had to draft a mortgage, draft a note, drafted, whether the warranty deed or quit claim deed, I had to draft those items. But or even I just attend. Some people have said, Attorney Rubin, I'm in New York, I'm doing this. Can you just attend? And they pay me to attend and be their power of attorney for the closing. And you know what I'm doing? I'm reading every document. They're like, oh my gosh. They're like, oh my gosh. But what I do, I request the closing documents in advance. Send me the HUD statement in advance. Send me as much as you can so I can review it, prep my questions, or even look at the numbers to make sure whoever you need to pay out is what you need to be paying out. So we're not doing that the day of. So request the contracts in advance. If you're doing the land purchases, they already have the contracts drafted. They already know the lands that are up for purchase. So I would advise people, request the contracts in advance. They should have a generic one that they use. Request the addresses if possible in advance. Go do your due diligence, whether it's official records or the property appraisal's office, the city or county, to see if there's any liens on that vacant land. If you're really, really open to having time, and I mentioned a couple of moments earlier, I don't know if that part was audible or not, but it was check with the zoning, the land use. Make sure it can do what you're buying it to do. If you're trying to get land for a church or a nonprofit or a liquor store, or a club or a school or even barber, make sure you can do what you want to do. So check with zoning. All of that stuff comes with doing your due diligence to accomplish the goal that you want to accomplish. But if they're trying to spring up a contract on you, be careful. Give it to me in advance, but don't pressure me right now. A lot of people make emotional decisions. And then they have buyer's remorse. Well, you don't have that 3 day unless it's in your contract. If it's not in your contract, you ain't got that little 3 day. I changed my mind.
Right.
Let's take it back and get another one. No, that's yours, baby.
Yeah.
It's recorded.
Wow.
In advance.
Listen, bottom line, hire attorney Rubin, honey, for your real estate needs. Okay. Y'all know we done already put up her flyer so you guys can reach her. You can Google attorney KARMIKA Rubin, Saint Petersburg, Florida. If you can't remember the name of her law firm, but if you are interested in real estate law, family law, whatever the case may be, even if you don't know whether or not she can cover your legal needs, just contact her law office and they will be able to give you or guide you in the right direction. But guys, make sure you contact her at 727-512-8261. Yes, 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 attorney KARMIKA Rubin. And last but not least, can you please tell the people, let the people know what closing the Black wealth gap means to you? What does that look like to you?
Knowing and doing. That's what it looks like to me. Knowing and doing. A lot of things are not a secret.
Yeah,
Investing in real estate is not a secret.
got you.
Knowing and then doing, and stop
Mhm.
giving away the wealth potential when you inherit
Mm,
money or a home or
yes,
property. So that's
yes.
what it looks like to me. Knowing and doing, and stop giving away the wealth that's coming your way.
Come on.
That's
Yes. Let me drink to that. Mm.
that's it right there.
Good tea, good tea, good tea. Attorney Rubin, do you have any last words for the people?
Well, I appreciate the platform. I'm so thankful for what you do, Miss Rush. You do more than people know about. You created an atmosphere through so many different social media platforms to make sure that people are in the know. And now
Praise
it's
the
on
Most
us
High.
to get the know, to get the tea. So my
Yes.
my last thing, thank you for the opportunity to share my tea on real estate law. But just
Yes.
remember, you would need an attorney before, during, or after.
Yes.
Consultations are not as expensive as you think. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people say I can do it on my own, which you can. Do it on your
Mm-hmm.
own and then run it by an attorney.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes, yes. Thank you so much, Attorney Rubin. Guys, thank you so much. Listen, this was great. I hope that everybody learned something. We didn't have any questions in the comment section. Guys, this was like a free from Attorney Rubin advice, or not necessarily advice, but insight based upon, what she would do personally if it were her situation. But
Exactly.
we really want to say thank you so much for joining us. We will definitely have you back because you covers, a vast, with a pretty good amount of law in different areas of law. Family law, like we're gonna have to have her back to talk about, family law and
Woo!
men who are Black men. Our Black men are affected by, child support and custody issues, and a lot of times they don't really understand their rights as men and
Mhm.
fathers of their children. So we would definitely have to have her back on the platform to just give some insight on that. She does estate planning. I mean, like, guys, if you're considering diving into the real estate investment industry, please make sure that you contact attorney KARMIKA V. Rubin. And so with that, Attorney Rubin, we are going to let you go, but we'd like
Thank
to say
you.
thank you so much for joining us this evening. And we're always going to be in contact with each other.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Listen, sending much blessings. Thank you for having me. Thank you, and thank you, viewers, for just tuning in. So we appreciate you, and I appreciate you. Thank you, and have a wonderful night.
Yes. Thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Yes.
So, guys, I hope that, as I said, that you enjoyed this season 4 finale, that you enjoyed our expert advisor. She really did bring the tea in with us tonight, guys. And we appreciate all of our viewers, everyone who tunes in on every Tuesday for T-shirts and Tea Tuesdays. Now, we are getting ready to take our break. We always take about a 4 or 5 week break in between seasons because doing this is a lot of energy, a lot of creativity, a lot of research, a lot of design. And, so we have to give our team a break just a little bit. And so we will be on break this season until November 16th, I want to say. Let me just make sure, guys. I'm going to pull up my calendar real quick. Y'all give me a quick second to do that. We will be on break. We'll be back on November 16th, 2022. We will make sure that we advertise and promote the show. In the meantime, guys, please make sure that you tune in on this coming Thursday to Bimp on the Spot with Taz. We are going to have the Boxing Playhouse founder and CEO Emilio Santana on to discuss the Boxing Playhouse. Guys, listen, Emilio, he has met some of the greatest boxers in the world. He is doing great things. He's always in Los Angeles at the boxing matches. So you guys want to hear about him. He is a Saint Petersburg, I want to say native, but he grew up in Saint Petersburg, Florida. So he is somebody that's kind of near and dear to our heart, close to our family. And so we want you to tune in to hear from him and his wife about what they do, the experiences that they've had. Bimp on the Spot is the story behind the brand. So you want to be there to hear about the story behind the brand. Also, guys, don't forget to go over to mybimp.com. That's www.mybimp.com to pre-register for the Harlem Nights 2022 extravaganza. Yes, it's the Black Business Showcase and Gala. Guys, y'all want to make sure that you are in attendance, honey, and make sure that you guys are already looking for your fly attire, because as we said, it is Harlem Nights inspired. As well as, guys, listen, as we said, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate each and every one of you that join us. If you are interested in becoming a volunteer for Harlem Nights, if you are interested in sponsorship, or a business that you think would be willing to sponsor, if you want to just make a donation, guys, make sure that you go on over to our website and, do an inquiry. Just let us know that you want to, give a donation. You can also, if you have Cash App, you can make a donation to our Cash App. It's $BIMP Corporation. That's $BIMP Corporation, or you can do Harlem Nights 2022. Okay, so with that being said, we will see you all in about 6 weeks on November 16th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. We'll see you soon. God bless. Good night.